Hi guys, this is Stephen Howard, and I'm walking Sophie and Alpie, and I'm in a neighborhood in Las Vegas. It's been quite a journey. I've only been here maybe, I don't know, 7 or so days, maybe 10 days. 10 days. Been dealing with a new job, new place to live, new friends. Got rekindled with my daughter, and I'm working on my relationship with my daughter and my significant other, my ex-wife Susan. We've been working to try and better our communication and leave things on a better term. So I'm working on all of my personal relationships. At the same time, I'm dealing with some stress about adjustment. I was in Montana on 3 acres, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and I had a kind of a daily regiment and things that I used to do. Certain parks I would go to, and certain times a day that I would eat, and fasting and meditation and healing. I went through quite an evolution up in Montana, and I even got to deal with a lot of my dark side. So I think that my last relationship was a trigger in order to have full spiritual awakening. Sometimes people are put in your life for a moment. Sometimes they're put in your life for an eternity, and it's just a matter of them or you or both of you figuring out what that all really means. As I've been in Las Vegas, there's so much going on, and there's so much outside influence that I realized that my channeling and my clairvoyancy has been getting muddied or blocked, and that's kind of scary to me, because that's really the whole thing that I have to do is get the message and get it right. So it takes more power, more concentration, more stillness and peacefulness. When I get a moment alone now, it's like my ears just start ringing, and the messages start coming in, and I honestly am feeling like I'm overloaded, or like my computer's crashing. So what I have to do then, and these dogs are going to freak out because there's another dog, is I have to really put my mind at ease and realize that, in order to have abundance and the things that I needed in my life, I was going to have to deal with dogs that didn't like other dogs. I was going to have to Caesar Milan it, and I'm the dog whisperer. Come on, guys, let's go. Come on, let's go. It's over. So, control is an illusion. You can't control your life. It's like Buddha said, if you put your foot in the stream, the water that you put your foot in is now 10 feet or 30 feet downstream. Life is the stream. Life is moving. It's moving forward. And all you can do is hang on to the leash and get dragged down the street. So if you want to control your life, control the things that you can, create a plan, make a regimen, be dedicated to it. If you meditated every day at 10 o'clock, just because you're in Las Vegas and not in the trailer out in Clinton, Montana, you could take 10 minutes out and sit in your car and focus and get your third eye to open up and realize that your intuition and your power is still right there. It's just you being busied or muddied that is causing the issue. So today's channel that I got in the morning was that people need to stop for just a second, take 10 minutes out of their day and just center and focus and breathe and relax and realize that it's all going to be okay. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever's coming at you, whatever energies you're dealing with, it's going to be okay. That all you have to do is have faith and hang on to the leash and realize that the dogs know where they're going. They've been on this walk many times before. So the leash is a metaphor because you can't see the leash. You just got to go out there and grab it. And then it starts pulling you in this direction. And you're like, well, where am I going? You know, where's this all lead to? And the fact of the matter is you won't know until you get there. That is the key to life, is to stay with the stream. Go with the flow, man. And, give yourself a moment to let it be. Let it all fall off of you. Water off a duck's back. Don't worry about that stuff. It's not going to matter 20 minutes from now anyway. So, today, hola, as we're walking through an Anthem neighborhood, walking these dogs, I have the same feeling that I did when I was in Montana, and that is that love is always the answer. That if you really love something, I guess you gotta let it go. And if it really loves you, it will appear. It'll be in your life. So that being said, I've had a lot of appearances lately. A lot of past coming back to be worked on. And I'm right here. I'm ready for the challenge. I'm excited. I'm really excited for that first day in Hollywood. You know, to have everything fall into place, be in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person, talking about the right stuff, and staying humble, staying on schedule, staying in your chop wood, carry water mantra, you know. So I guess today's nutshell of a message is hang on to the leash, go into the unknown, follow your path, follow your dreams, do stuff that you wouldn't normally do, that you're like, no, there's no way that's gonna work. It just might. Or there's no way that this relationship's gonna work. It just might. There's no way I'm ever gonna see my daughter again. I'm gonna have the same experience I did with my last daughter. That didn't happen. I'm seeing my daughter probably later today or this evening. So whatever was in your mind, that negative voice that tells you that you can't or it's not possible, you know, you could be in an impossible marriage that looks like, you know, even with the 10 years of counseling, this is never gonna do anything. And if you just have faith and you just hang on, or you just let go, you might be shocked with the outcome or the way people respond to you letting go. So I've definitely been through a lot. I definitely have a lot to organize. I've written a Netflix series about Soulmates, and it's about a guy and a girl. Her name is Julia, and she's I'll kind of keep it under wraps as far as the plot twist, but soulmates are not always who you think they are, and they're not always, like, you could be in a relationship and it goes really bad, but that was your soulmate. And so it's always repairable, that the stuff in the past life, the karma and the things, and it might take you 3 years, but you come back and it's like a fresh start. Everything's forgiven. We're not dealing with the past, we're dealing with now and the future. And then all of a sudden, all those issues that came up in the last set of circumstances come up. And you're like, oh shit, I'm scared. Is it going to happen to me again? Am I going to get crushed again? Am I going to crush somebody again? You know, what does that mean? So what I've come up with is that we're all sent people in our lives for a reason. Might be for a day, might be for an hour, might be for 10 hours. I once met a 91-year-old Marine Corps veteran who'd been on the beach at Normandy and like Saving Private Ryan, and he's 91 years old and he's in a McDonald's in Reno, and I'm in the middle of my divorce and I feel like going and jumping off Hoover Dam Bridge, and I feel like I don't want to live anymore, and I'm just trying to go get a sausage McMuffin with egg and try and drive up to Tahoe and go camping with my mom. And a 91-year-old guy comes up and grabs my arm in the McDonald's because I'm talking to some vets and I'm telling them how awesome they are and amazing that, you know, they went and fought for our country and that we are free as a result of their hard work and their sacrifice. So this guy grabs my arm and he goes, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And I looked at him and he had my same hat on and he had a pair of glasses on the bill of the hat, and I had my glasses up there too. And I felt like I was looking in the mirror, in a time machine mirror. And right as I said all of that, look at what I found on the ground. An American flag never deserves to be on the ground, ever. So don't ever leave a flag on the ground. It is bad luck. I'm going to leave that for the neighbors. But I found an American flag right as I'm talking about our vets. So, 91-year-old man. He comes up to me, grabs my arm in the McDonald's after I talked to the other vets, and he goes, "I want to talk to you for a minute." I said, "Okay." And I felt like I was looking in the mirror, in a time machine mirror, and I was looking at myself at 91 years old. And I was warning myself. He goes, "I gave up the job of a lifetime. I had $3 million during the Great Depression. And I gave up my wife and child, and I used my ego, and I went out in the world, and everything went wrong. And I've been extremely alone ever since." And he told me all kinds of things, and I wish I could have written or recorded it or something, but I know that it was me visiting me from the future. How crazy does that sound? And that what he was telling me is that I needed to bury the ego. Bury the ego and bury the past. If you truly want the good things in life, you have to be vulnerable and let people in. And you gotta tell people stuff you're afraid to tell them, and you've gotta be the bigger person for the entire picture. So I really took that to heart, and I went up and did a ritual in Tahoe. It didn't really work, but I dug a hole underneath a big pine tree, and I buried a couple of, I think they were stickers and a couple of other things in a little water bottle, so it was preserved so I could go back and dig it up years later. But it was like a little time capsule, and I buried my ego and I buried my past, and then I paddled across Lake Tahoe and had a stroke. So everything happens for a reason. When you look back on how far you've come, it's really amazing at all the things you've accomplished in your life. And if you're looking back on your life without accomplishment, you're kind of looking at it wrong. There's been so many miracles and so many things that have happened to put you where you're at right now. And if you can just appreciate those things and honor the position you've been given, that's really the key to it. Then it comes down to your happiness, what truly makes you happy. And you might think, oh, this is great, this is the end all be all, this is the bee's knees, I'm really happy. But you realize a few months later that you're not, that the situation is not what you thought or not what it appears to be. And so you have a tower moment and your ship falls down and you feel like your life is going nowhere.